A billionaire's fake romance lifts his brand until leaks expose the script. Trust shatters, and his empire starts to crumble.
He buys a love story, she plays along. The internet finds the contract. Stocks dip, partners panic, and the curated life unravels.
They called him Mason Hartley, the billionaire next door with the jet-set smile, a self-made tech titan who turned a dorm room codebase into a household app and a public company. The kind of American dream that looks flawless in glossy magazine spreads and late-night talk show banter. But behind the curated lifestyle and designer suits, there was a marketing machine hungry for the next headline, the next viral moment, the next way to boost brand awareness and investor confidence. Which is why, according to the insiders who watched the chessboard, his team greenlit the one storyline no one could resist, the romance arc. It started as a neat plan in a sleek boardroom, a public relations strategy built on trend lines and keywords like billionaire lifestyle, influencer marketing, authenticity, and brand storytelling. Because the data showed that viewers didn't just follow companies, they followed people, and people followed love. And that's how Olivia Brooks entered the picture, a charismatic content creator with a wholesome vibe, Midwest roots, and a smile that lit up streaming thumbnails for millions. The agreement was neat, legal, clean. A private contract, a calendar of appearances, and a playbook for chemistry. Hold hands here, share a glance there, post a candid cooking video on Sunday and a charity gala photo on Thursday. Enough to set comment sections buzzing and push search traffic for Mason's flagship app to the top of trending. In the beginning, it worked like a dream, and the narrative felt like warm light on a cold morning. Helicopter date nights with sunsets over the bay, soft-focused kitchen clips with flower-dusted laughter, surprise donations to youth coding camps that made outlets call him a modern-day philanthropist, and Olivia's audience blended into Mason's, giving his brand a softer edge, a story that felt human and relatable. Investors loved the momentum, analysts praised the customer engagement flywheel, and the board nodded as share price charts drew upward lines because the romance gave oxygen to every algorithm and every journalist hungry for a feel-good arc. But what the playbook didn't account for was the human side of performance, improvisation, messiness, the long tail of attention, and the relentless way the internet studies every frame for seams. The first seam appeared in a behind-the-scenes vlog when a mic picked up a clipped line, "We're off script." And though it was quickly replaced with a softer cut, the audio resurfaced through a fan edit, and curiosity turned into an investigative sport as viewers rewatched clips in slow motion, asking why Mason always looked to his handler before answering, and why Olivia's eyes flicked to the camera a beat too soon. The second seam came from a charity event where an eager MC introduced Olivia as Mason's fiancée instead of girlfriend, and the awkward correction created a freeze frame that lived for days on social platforms, prompting threads titled, "Is this relationship real?" and "PR Love Story Breakdown," which drew in a new audience that wasn't there for love, only for the reveal. The fake didn't crash overnight. It frayed quietly, like a loose thread catching on every doorknob of public life, while Mason's team scrambled with talking points about privacy and boundaries, and Olivia posted an airy, "Love is complicated" caption that fueled more speculation than it settled. The moment everything turned wasn't a single dramatic exposé. It was a boring quarterly earnings call, the place where sentiment becomes math, and a hedge fund analyst asked if the spike in daily active users would still hold without celebrity-adjacent promotions, a comment that sounded clinical but cut deep, because markets can smell performative growth, and growth that smells staged loses its shine. When the numbers softened a little and the board pushed for a cost review, the PR romance turned from glossy fuel to risk factor, and Mason faced a choice: keep the fantasy running or tell the truth before the truth told itself. He chose the half-truth, a gracious breakup post about different paths, mutual respect, and the seasonality of love.
But the internet had evolved beyond standard press language, and a former contractor, hoping for 15 minutes, shared a screenshot of a calendar labeled couple content, complete with deadlines and a column for surprise moments, which ignited the kind of virality that brands dread because it recasts everything retroactively. It paints every kiss as product placement, every gift as a prop, every tender look as an ROI line item. Viewers who once cooed at their weekend cabin videos now replayed them with forensic attention. The duplicate mugs, the unused blanket,
the identical wardrobe rotation that matched a stylist's pitch deck. Overnight, the story shifted from billionaire love story to manufactured relationship and then to corporate manipulation. And though no laws were broken, the court of public opinion has a way of charging interest, especially when the product is trust. That's when the cascading effects began. A corporate client delayed a renewal because brand alignment felt uncertain. A nonprofit partner asked for clarity on program authenticity before confirming a second-year grant. And a millennial audience cohort, once loyal evangelists, started using words like performative, parasocial burn, and credibility gap, which are soft words with hard consequences because brands thrive on belief, and belief evaporates in the heat of doubt. Mason tried to counter-program with substance, shipping a thoughtful new feature set that improved user safety and digital well-being, hosting an open Q&A, and inviting journalists to a transparent product demo. But even good work can feel like spin if the perception trap has already sprung. Olivia, meanwhile, posted a reflective video about pressure, public identity, and the difference between curating moments and living them. And while her audience gave her grace, they also wanted distance from anything that looked brand scripted. Within Mason's company, the conversation turned inward. Engineers questioned why product roadmaps were reoriented around narrative spikes. Marketers argued that storytelling wasn't the problem, lack of authenticity was. And legal urged caution on paid personal narratives. Culture, in other words, started to resist the quick fix. Shareholders wanted control, so the board brought in an executive coach and then, quietly, a succession consultant, just in case. And the headlines clipped Mason's name with modifiers like embattled, a word that steals oxygen from innovation. In a thoughtful moment away from cameras,
Mason admitted to a friend that the plan looked harmless at the start. Two adults agreeing to perform warmth in public for brand lift. And there had been warmth. Real warmth amid the staging. But the lie wasn't the contract. The lie was believing that the public can't tell the difference between a spark and a script. The downfall wasn't a villain's punishment, it was a slow education in how modern audiences weigh signals, how the luxury of attention carries a responsibility to be honest, and how chasing billionaire lifestyle optics without grounding them in real values turns a brand from magnetic to disposable. And there, in the quiet, he started over. Not with another relationship, not with a dramatic confession, but with a return to first principles. Shipping a reliable product, elevating customer service, showing up in communities without a camera crew, treating sponsorships as partnerships, stating clearly when something is paid and when it is personal, and letting the results speak slowly. The lesson isn't never market with romance or never tell a story. The lesson is that authenticity isn't a tactic, it's a practice, and every shortcut trades a little credibility for a little reach until one day the reach is wide and the trust is gone. If you're building a company, an audience, or a life in public, remember the cautionary tale of Mason Hartley. From romance to ruin is a short distance when the map is drawn by metrics alone. And the bridge back is built one honest post, one clear disclosure, one straight answer at a time. Because in a world trained to spot filters, the rarest luxury is something true. Like, share, and subscribe.